Hey guys, it's Stephanie with Simarchy and welcome to another speed build. Now this is a large modern home and it is using base game only. That means no stuff packs, no expansion packs, nor no store contents. It is just the base game. So I wanted to just experiment a little bit and see what I could do without using all of the items that I'm used to, because it just forces you to be a little bit more creative, especially when you're like, oh gosh, there's that one piece of furniture that I really want and I don't have. You have to really think outside of the box to find exactly what you want. And since Sims 3 is so amazing because it has the create a style, the color wheel, all these beautiful patterns and colors to choose from, I figured it shouldn't be too tough to just be able to create kind of whatever you want, or at least to give the illusion of what you want. And another reason, of course, is even though Sims 3 is a little bit of an older game, I personally have friends and I see people in groups and forums that are still new to the game, just like me. I'm pretty new. I only started playing a few months ago. So along with some tutorials that I've been doing to help people out, I also wanted to do a base game home so that if you don't have all the expansion packs, you can still have a beautiful home to move your Sims into. Now, of course, you could build your own too. You can start at a starter home, or once you have enough money for your Sim family, you can go ahead and download and purchase this home, or you can always use cheats. I have nothing against that. You can use the family funds cheat to go ahead and give your Sims a little bit of extra simoleons so they could purchase a home like this or build one yourself. But I figured I would give you a nice little option to choose from. And this is, like I said, it's a very large home. Right now, I'm pretty much just working on the exterior. It ended up being a super long build, so that's where the speed part comes in handy because I can just kind of condense it and shorten it for you. I sped it up a bit, but not so much that you can't really follow what's going on, so I hope this is a nice good speed. Let me know what you guys think, if it's still too fast. Of course, the slower we make it, the longer the video will be, so that's just a personal preference. I try to keep them around 20 to 30 minutes, but in real build time, gosh, this took me, I think, somewhere around like 6 hours total, and I didn't do it all in one sitting. You can actually kind of see the breaks where I stop and pick up again because I sort of zoom out to the front of the house and then zoom back in, and that's where you can kind of tell that's where she stopped and started again. So I think it actually took me like a course of a week to build this home. I probably could have done it all in one sit down. However, that would really flex those creative muscles and force you to think, whereas I sort of can do it organically as I feel like it, as I have an idea, and that kind of keeps it more interesting. I think if you're just trying to force yourself to build, sometimes it comes across that way. And I try to never do that. When I build, I usually want to do it out of inspiration. And often I will create a Sims family first so that I have an idea of what type of home to build for them. In this case, I didn't do that. I sort of had an idea of not necessarily the layout, but I had an idea of like the feel of the home, and I figured the rest would just kind of come to me as I built it. So there is no family to go along with this, which is good and bad. I mean, obviously you can use your own family either way. The download link will be in the description, and if there was a family included, you can obviously evict them and move your Sims into it. Or you could play with the family. It's up to you. But in this case, no family, just the house. And it ends up having, oh gosh, I don't even remember how many bedrooms. We'll find out towards the end, but it's plenty. It's plenty for a nice big family. So I definitely would not call it a starter home. It is higher on the price range. We'll find out the exact price when we finish. I can't recall offhand, but it is up there because it is a very large home, and you have to keep in mind that the bills are going to be very high as well. So this is probably a home that you'll want to purchase once you have enough simoleons and some savings to cover all those bills, or again, just use a cheat like I do. But anyways, now we're moving on to the landscaping, and obviously that went by a little bit quickly, but the basic build of the house is done. None of the walls are the interior yet, so I'm just doing the little landscaping and such. Now we have this large, beautiful fountain right up front, and I wanted to put the pool behind it so it almost looks like it's a continuation of the fountain, but the Sims can actually swim there, and that little square in the back is actually a swimming area. Normally pools go in the back of the house, sometimes in the middle of the house, but this time I figured, why not stick it right smack dab in the front? Nothing wrong with that. They'll have nosy neighbors. Maybe the kids next door want to come play. it's just, I don't know, it's something a little bit different, I thought, something a little bit fun and interesting. And now we're moving on to the backyard. I have this sort of stone fence that I built around the property. It's not like all the way around, but it's definitely a full enclosure in the back. And I love this flagstone terrain paint. It's one of my favorites. So what I did was just create like a nice wide area for the sitting area. We've got the barbecue grill, the fire pit, some seating, the picnic table, and then I used, just like I did here in the front, little paths using that terrain tool. So it looks like a little walking path. It looks sort of organic, like it was just sort of built or worn down over time. And now in this front area, I did go ahead and include a couple of bicycles for your Sims to get some exercise and to ride around town on. And now I'm starting the interior of the home, like the actual layout, and I wanted to keep this first floor very open concept, and I mean like very open concept. I did include a couple of feature walls just to sort of give the illusion of separating out the space, but it is all one continuous area down here. There's no hallways, it's just one large area. So I first started off just building off this area that I sort of already knew would be my kitchen and dining area. So I'm jumping straight in and putting the dining area items here to make sure that everything fits and flows well before I move on to the kitchen and the rest of the home. And I'll play around with colors and textures and stuff after I get the basic layout done. So we have that nice large dining table for your Sims family to eat at. You can actually add 2 more chairs on either end if you would like, so that you can have a full 8 Sims sitting here. Right now it's just for 6, but there are 2 extra chairs at the bar stool, or 2 extra bar stools at the bar, so you could totally fit 8 Sims in here at once. And the bar area is great because your Sim can have a little drink to go along with their meal, or just come hang out in this cool little area. It definitely has like a loungy type feel as well. And I stuck with like the sort of cherry wood flooring, which I thought just really made the room pop. And then I wanted to continue those colors into the feature wall, the accent wall. So we have this like exposed dark red, brown, and orangey bricks. There's some cream colors as well. And I don't know, I think it's a good color combo. It just flows very well. And of course I added the chandelier there for a little bit more drama and lighting. And I forgot just like how little paintings and stuff were included in the base game, so I had to be really creative. Some of them I had to use more than once, but I tried to make it so that it wasn't too obvious that it was the exact same painting. And now we moved on to the kitchen area. This was sort of a weird little decision here. Instead of making it like a large open kitchen, I closed it off again, so we have some walls going around it, and then some more walls on the inside to section it off some more. And again, I was really just playing with some building features since I couldn't do a whole lot with furniture. I mean, obviously there's some great options in the base game, but I'm already like thinking outside of the box, so I thought, why not play with some build features as well? So I did have a hard time deciding where to put a fridge. Real quick, I did put a little mini recycling bin right here, so I wanted to put the one outside so they can actually take it out as well. But I did struggle at first where to put the fridge, and you'll see in a second it ends up just being on this opposite wall right over there. Not the best kitchen layout, but again, I wanted to try something a little bit different. I noticed that some of my homes were starting to look the same, so I figured why not just play with some different options. And now I just switched into the day and night toggle here so that we can get our lighting and get it perfect, because sometimes there's too much lighting and sometimes there's not enough. So the best way to tell is to go into that night tool and see what it will look like at nighttime. And now I'm moving on to the well, I said there was no halls. It's not really a hall. It's more of like a seating area slash staircase area, which has that beautiful spiral staircase, which of course takes us up to the 2nd floor, where we will have all of our bedrooms and bathrooms. I actually don't include a bathroom in this 1st floor. I'm not sure if it's going to really be necessary, but if you do notice that you need one, you can definitely remove some of these seating areas. There's quite a few of them around this 1st floor, and you could just add in your own little bathroom, but there are plenty upstairs for the Sims to use, so you shouldn't really have to worry about that. And right now I am just trying to find little decoration items. Again, with the base game, you don't have a whole lot of options. So just really going outside of the box here and trying to think like what can look like, it belongs on a table, because there's not a whole lot of options for that. The furniture, there's obviously a little bit more options, which makes it a little easier, especially when you are playing around with colors and such to make it look different. So I did just pop in that foods table over there in front of the window that you can see out to the pool. And now we're moving on to a reading area. This isn't the living room, it's just a little reading nook. And I wanted to go ahead and place some lighting throughout the entire home, sort of keeping it symmetrical, not exactly, but just enough to keep me happy. I'm not completely OCD, but I do have some tendencies where it has to at least make sense in my head, the pattern, or it'll drive me absolutely freaking crazy. So, I do end up moving the lights a little bit later to make it make more sense once I start sectioning off the area, but for now I figured those would be great. Now, if you've watched my previous speed builds, I do normally use the lights from Debug, and those are those square ceiling lights that disappear in live mode. And the reason I'm trying to start to shy away from those just a little bit is because, one, it really blocks the viewing area when you're trying to see what I'm doing and you have those annoying squares in build mode. These lights sort of disappear a little bit, so it makes it a bit easier to see. And also, I've been having some weird issues in my game where the square lights either disappear, or like disappear completely, the light and everything, or they won't turn on even though I have another lamp in the room to turn them on. For whatever reason, they don't want to work. They don't want to work with auto lights. I've never had an issue before. It's sort of a new issue for me, so I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong, but either way, I figured I will shy away from those for a little bit and use some actual game lighting instead. And since this build specifically is base game only, I don't want to go too much into using any items from Debug. I don't think I use any of them. And if you don't know what that is, it is basically just a secret little menu where you can access the items that the creators use to build the game that aren't necessarily there for the players to use. But by unlocking that cheats menu, you can go ahead and find items that you can use that shouldn't be part of the game necessarily as part of building. They are in the game, obviously. I'm talking about like rocks and billboards and dumpsters and things like that. But yeah, so I did go ahead and finish that living room, like the actual TV area, and I still had this wide open space over here, so I thought I would throw in an art easel and a chess table just to give the Sims some more activities. And then there's still this giant open space when you first come in. Again, since I'm doing this sort of organically, I didn't really plan it. I found myself having to create areas because it's so empty. And here I'm just going through every object I can find, trying to decide what to put. And I thought, since we have the beautiful fountain and pool outside, why not carry on a little bit of that water theme inside? And this is a very large, grand, modern home with some more classic furniture. So I figured a little fountain would work great in the entry area as well. And I kept that one red instead of blue. I thought it was a good little touch. So we are finally moving on to the upstairs bedroom area, and I struggle with this hallway and the size of the rooms quite a bit. Since this is so sped up, you're not going to see exactly how long it took me, but yeah, it was definitely a learning curve. I didn't want to do just a straight across horizontal or vertical hallway. I wanted to do something that was like a little bit more curved, a little bit more flowing with the rooms, to not keep them all box shaped. Because the house already is sort of box shaped, I wanted to play with the layout of the rooms to give a little bit of more dimension and character. And there, I thought that was a little bit too narrow at 2 tiles, so I widened it up. I widened it up to 3 tiles to give the Sims a little bit more space to get through there. And now I am trying to decide where the bathrooms are going to go. Since I did not put any downstairs, I wanted plenty up here to use. And I still don't know exactly how many bedrooms I'm going to do, or if there's going to be another like art area or seating area up here at this point of the video. So I'm just kind of going with the flow, which is a little bit different than what I normally do. Again, if you've watched any of my other speed builds, one of the tips and tricks that I usually do is lay out the rooms first and put one piece of furniture in each room to signify what it is. So I'll put a bed in the bedroom, a fridge in the kitchen, a washer and dryer in the laundry room, whatever the case may be, so that when I go back and do a long build like this that I did over a full week, I remember which room was what. But since I didn't have a plan with this, I didn't want to have a plan with this, I wanted to be super creative, I skipped that part, and I still don't know exactly what's going to be a bedroom or what's going to be a bathroom, but I have more of a general idea at this point. So that's why I decided to go ahead and do the lighting and the doors. And I know this lighting looks a little bit excessive, especially because I use the same ones throughout the entire layout, but I wanted the area to be very well lit. Again, this is a super modern home with huge, large windows and lots of natural daylight already, but I want to make sure at nighttime it still keeps it nice and bright so you don't lose that feel of it being open and airy and modern when it gets dark outside. So right now I am working on one of the bathrooms. This ends up being like a little just like narrow bathroom in between two of the bedrooms, which is great because I figure I'm already starting to lay out a plan of what type of family would live here. And I think this is technically called a Jack and Jill bathroom. So I figured I would have a boys' room and a girls' room on either side so that they can share. These will probably be kids or teenagers. I mean, they could be adults. You could do whatever you want. But in my head at this moment, they're kids. They're maybe like 8-10 years old. So we'll have a boy and a girl on each side and the shared bathroom in the middle. That's why I kept it a very neutral tone. I pretty much stuck with the beiges and the browns and the whites in the bathroom, but the bedrooms are going to be a little bit more tailored. And I know it's cliche, I always do this, pink in the girls' room, boys' room ends up being blue. I have no quandaries about gender roles. Girls can like blue, boys can like pink. Absolutely, I love rainbow. Rainbow is my favorite color. I love all colors, but for whatever reason, when I'm building in The Sims, I make the girls' rooms pink and the boys' rooms blue, and you could switch that up or vary it however you want. There are no rules at all, whatever makes you happy. So this room, again, is for, in my mind, a little girl, so I kept it very pastel, soft colors, pretty patterns with the butterfly bed cover and the little birdie sparrows. I think those are on the rug. And we have the beautiful pink orchid as well as some like that little bird cage. I don't know what it technically is. It's some sort of plant thing, but it looks like a bird cage to me. And I kept a nice big open mirror behind the dresser so that she can get ready in the morning and be able to see herself. And I had those little flamingos. I made them face each other so it looks like they're kissing. And I didn't have many objects to play with, so I figured why not bring some lawn ornaments inside and make them look like cute little toys or stuffed animals or whatever. But now we're moving on to what I consider the little boys' room. Again, you could do whatever you like with this home, but this one is definitely more of the light blues, a little bit of a minty color as well, and gray. I also kept the colors here very subdued and pastel, and yeah, I think they work well together. I think I do throw a few pops of like that darker blue in here just to break up that monotone, not really monotone, but the pastels, just to break them up a tiny bit. I throw some darker blue in here, and I think it just pops great against that minty green tealy color on the wall. I know, just making up words here. But this is his little computer area. He has a rack of CDs and his laptop and his bookcase. And I also gave him a very nice large mirror around the back of his dresser. Now here I really wanted to put the fishbowl on top of the dresser, and for whatever reason it won't go up there. So what I did was I took two counters and colored them similarly. Wow, my words. Similarly? Is that right? I colored them the same as the cabinet or the dresser and used the move object sheets just to sort of insert it into there. That way I can put the fishbowl on top and it looks like it's sitting on the dresser when it's really sitting on the counter. I don't know why fishbowls go on counters but not dressers, but that's the way the game did it, so I had no choice in the matter. And now we're moving on to sort of, I don't know, at the beginning, I thought maybe this would be the master bedroom, but this ends up being just like the second largest bedroom. I guess you could call it two masters. It is very beautiful. Like, you'll see the last one the master bedroom. It's not the last bedroom, I believe, but you'll see the master bedroom a little bit later in the video. But personally, if this was my house, even if I was the parent, I would want this room as mine. So I guess we can call it a second master bathroom. It does have its own, or master bedroom. It does have its own bathroom, its own little ensuite. So it's fine for one sim or two. Either way, you can have a nice big room here. And again, stuck with the pastel colors, but I do throw up a few pops of like yellow and lime as well. So I thought it was a nice little contradiction in colors there. It ends up flowing really nicely. These colors will change obviously as I go on with the build. And I ended up using a bird rug again, and those were little red robins, I think, but I made them into blue jays just by changing the color to blue. I don't know if that's technically correct, but they're my little blue birds, and I think they are so freaking cute. And now over on this big wall, again, a lot of empty space I have to fill in with such a large home, which is good and bad because it forces you to be creative. But I thought instead of just sticking a desk and a bookshelf, I would sort of add those cabinets in between to kind of make it look like it's one cohesive unit. I don't actually attach them together, so you do see the space in between the wall, but it still looks like it was a furniture set that was sort of bought together, and it just, I don't know. It's nice and symmetrical and I like it. So now I'm adding in some plants and wall art and decorations throughout as well, and playing with some of the colors just to make everything match right. And that room is now done. Now we're moving on to another, I don't know, I guess it's technically a room. It's sort of a hallway as well. I don't know what the proper area is called. We'll just call it like a sitting area for now, but I do end up putting a little bit of greenery in here too. So it's, I don't know, it's a nice little relaxing room where you can come and read and hang out, and it has a view of the front yard, so you can see the pool and the fountain from up there. It's very relaxing and calm. And I had a really hard time with moving this plant in the middle of the table. I guess for whatever reason you can't put anything directly in the middle, so I got it as close as I possibly could. And again, that's one of those things that just bothers my OCD tendencies. I wish that was right smack dab in the middle, but I did the best I could. But that little menu you saw me pull up was the help menu, and if you just do the Shift Control C and type in the word help, it shows you all of the cheats that are available in the game. And one of them is called Disable Grid to Snapping on Slot, something like that. I don't know, it was really fast, but you could pull up the help menu to see exactly what it's called. And what that usually does is allow the object to move freely without snapping into the grid. Like counters, you know how counters automatically snap into each other. It's a great tool for that. I thought I would be able to use it to move that plant in the middle of the table, but it did not work as planned. But yeah, enough of the freaking plant. So now we're moving on to this room. I'll call it a bedroom well, it's a nursery, okay? This is a nursery. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it at first. I thought it would be another large seating area, but I figured there was enough of those throughout the home, so why not include a beautiful big nursery? I love babies in the game. I love toddlers, so I wanted to have a little room for them. As you're building and growing your family, of course, you want a nice large nursery so that you have room to teach the toddlers how to walk and talk and use the potty and read. I don't know if you know, but toddlers can actually read on their own. If you put them on the floor and put a book in front of them, you can actually cue them up to go and read the book. And I didn't know that for the longest time, and once I figured it out, I was so excited. One of my favorite interactions is watching them read. I just love it. I love it. And I love my little toddlers. They're so cute. That's one of the main reasons I haven't moved on to The Sims 4 yet. Well, I wouldn't say the main reason, but it is a big deciding factor. But I am going to eventually move on to The Sims 4. Not completely. I'll still do both Sims 3 and Sims 4 videos and gameplay and all of that. But the absolute reason I haven't done that yet is because there is still so much for me to explore in The Sims 3. I just started exploring some of the features that the expansion packs have to offer, like the World Adventures one. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize how fun that was. But if you follow my channel, I have a Let's Play called Family Values, and it is my little Sarah, and she's building her family. She just got married to Joven, and they went on a honeymoon to France, and I used, of course, the World Adventures expansion pack for that. And I didn't realize how many interactions and things that you could do there. It's sort of like an extra game, like a little mystery game built right into The Sims. So every day I'm discovering new features of The Sims 3. I don't want to lose sight of that and move straight into The Sims 4. So I'll probably do a little balance of both. But if you guys have an opinion on that, drop your comments below to let me know. So anyways, back to this build. This nursery I figured would have everything from the bathroom to the little baby kitchen to the toy room. Everything will be self-contained in here, but I wanted to section off the playroom just to break it up a little bit, and I was using these half walls, and I kept like struggling if it should be bigger or smaller. Ultimately, I went with this. If you do end up having problems with your toddlers being able to play in the play area, you can go ahead and widen that little half wall and make it a larger area so they have plenty of room to walk around in. But I think that should be sufficient. And now I'm just sort of going back to that, what I guess I'm calling the second master bedroom. It did have an ensuite bathroom, but I got so excited about the nursery I forgot about it. So I'm just switching back to the ensuite right here. And the bedroom did have like those like yellow and blue and maroon tones, definitely gender neutral. So I decided to make the bathroom neutral as well. Just stuck with like the browns and reds. So you could have any sim in here, of course. And just to break up that brown and red a little bit, I went with more of like a minty green wall and flooring, which I think just looks beautiful. It looks very clean, very bright, very open. I know I use those words a lot in modern builds, but to me that's what modern really means. And of course there's some classical elements as well with that mirror and the little candles. It's just a nice mix, I think, of the two. And I'm really starting to love this home. I say that about all my builds, but I don't know, this one was just so much fun. So creative for me. And here I have like this weird little wall I created in the hall, sort of on accident, sort of on purpose. I knew I would end up putting probably a statue or a plant in there. So what I did was just use move objects to insert 2 plants into a table, and then I changed that wallpaper to brick. I know that went by super fast, but I made that sort of a little accent wall feature. And then we have some of these longer empty walls, so I'm just going through and placing a few photos and such. And okay, now we're moving on to the master bedroom, but this is the bathroom. I'm doing the bathroom first to get that out of the way. And this one ends up being like whites and light blues, very pretty, very pretty colors. And it's, I don't know, it's sort of a large bathroom, but it was still hard to get a layout going in here. And it shouldn't have been that hard because it's just a rectangle, but of course I had to make things a little bit difficult with the counters and trying to hide the toilet behind the counter. And now I'm trying to put like these 2 cabinets side by side here. And with the move objects sheet, like they just kept flickering, so I end up moving them apart. You do see like a little weird gap in between them, but I would rather have that than have those colors constantly flickering. And here, one looks gray and one looks white, which drove me nuts. But I eventually figure out it's because the ceiling light isn't sitting directly in front of them, so it's throwing off the colors. I will move that and change that here in a second. And just working on the counters and such. I added like these little tables so that we could put some bathroom accessories, and then that's where I realized that the base game doesn't have many bathroom accessories, so instead I just go with some candles and perfume and the little jars, which is technically a kitchen accessory, I think, but by making it blue I thought it looked cute, like little jars that maybe you can put like cotton swabs, or I don't know what you would put in there, little makeup tools, whatever, bandages, I don't know. I figured it is now a bathroom accessory. And of course the little perfume, and I'm now just putting in like little plants and such as well. little decoration touches. And now finally moving on to what I believe is the final room of the build. This is the master bedroom, and you can see just how large it is. And of course, since it is so large, it's going to have lots of little areas that I actually section off just to not make it look like one just big giant open room. And so right now I'm working on the desk, office area. Ends up actually being a little office. And I'm using the kitchen cabinets again with the bookshelf to kind of make it look like a cohesive unit. I know it looks funny right now, but when I go through and change the pattern and the color, it all flows very nicely. And I figured this like extra little wall area over here, it has like that little groove on the side. So I just threw a few more bookcases as well for a little bit of decoration. And this large area over here, I decided to make a little dressing area. So we'll have the dressers and mirrors and things like that so that your Sims can get ready. You can change their clothes, you could change their appearance. And I think I ended up putting like a little couch in here too, just like a little seating area as well. So it's a nice big dressing area. I would love this in my own home. A nice big area to get ready. You could do your makeup. There's nice natural lighting coming from the windows and huge mirrors on the wall, as well as a standing mirror on the side there so you can check out your entire outfit while you get dressed. And now just popping back into the little office area to add in some wall decor. I did put a his and a hers desk, or a hers and a hers, or a his and a his, whatever you want to do. There are 2 desks in that office for the parents. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I think the rest of this build is just going to be adding a few decorations here and there, some wall art, some pops of color, changing like the bedspreads and all of that to make it flow more nicely. And adding a little bit of shelving to the wall. There is like that little trophy case. It's not really a case, it's like a trophy shelf, which I thought was adorable. And I decided to give the parents a TV in their bedroom so that they can have their own sort of sanctuary to come and relax in. I don't think the kids got any TVs in their rooms, but they did get laptops, so they could still, watch TV and play games on those. But I figure mom and dad need a nice large TV in front of the bed so that they can relax and watch TV at night and wind down. And yeah, just putting on the final touches here. I do like the colors, but I wanted the bedspread to be, I don't know, more of like a reddish maroonish color. And once I did that, I thought I would make like the furniture match as well. So we're definitely going with like a little bit of darker tones in here than the rest of the home, which is cool. It breaks it up a little bit and it makes it feel very homey and lived in and comfortable, and definitely sticking with the darker tones in this office as well. And I don't know, I really like the office. I think that nice big window there is perfect because you do have a little bit of privacy to do your work at, but you have a nice look into the yard, so you don't feel completely closed off from the outside world as you're working or just playing games on the computer, which obviously I do all the time. I'm glad to play my Sims on my laptop. And back to the dressing area, just a few decorations. Again, there's not a whole lot of things that you could put on the counter, so that's why I end up using a lot of plants. I use the perfume bottles quite a bit and the little makeup. And now I'm changing the colors and patterns in here as well. Again, sticking to sort of like this deep red, maroony, and brown color. And I wanted to lay a few rugs as well to break up the flooring, just not keeping it so stark whitish gray. I wanted to add some rugs to section off the area a bit. So you did see me put 3 rugs in the office, but I figured that was a little too much. So I went back to just the one little circular rug there in the middle. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much bringing us towards the end of the home here. I will absolutely include screenshots. So here we go with the screenshots. We've got the nice view of the front of the home. This home only has a 1-car parking spot, but it does come with a vehicle. So you can, I don't know where you would add more vehicles if you need, but I'm sure you guys are creative enough to figure that out if you want more parking spaces. But right now it's just the one. And then here are the floor plan shots, so you can see the entire bottom floor and the entire top floor. And here we are around to the front where we have just like the little trash cans and bicycles. And this is the deck that comes off the nursery, just a couple of lounge chairs. So now we're back downstairs into the little mini living room. And then this is the mini book area, like the reading area. And there is the foosball table looking straight out into the pool and fountain. Such a beautiful view there. Here we have the little side table in front of the stairs before we go upstairs. And now going over to the dining room, so you get a nice little shot there, as well as the kitchen. So I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of the screenshots, and please, please, please subscribe to the channel if you like the videos and want to see more. It would mean a lot to me and help me grow my channel. And you can also find me on any of the social medias just using my YouTube name, Simarchy. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. If you have any video ideas or you just want to say hi, please, please hit me up. I love hearing from you guys, and I really hope you enjoy this home. I will have the download link in the description as always so that you can add it to your game if you like, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!